I would like to now invite Mr. Håkan Olsen, Director, Head of Technical Regulations at Ericsson, to give his perspective on what's happening globally with 5G. Mr. Olsen.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Håkan Olsen. I'm working at Ericsson Group Function Technology. Very happy to be back to India, and thank to COAI to invite me here. And India is sort of my second home country, you know. I grew up in the beautiful landscape of Kodaikanal, and it's always a pleasure to think of that childhood and India. I have some material, I had some slides. Yeah. Yes, so to say something about the process. I'm also Vice Chairman of Working Party 5D. That's the group in ITU that is responsible for IMT. This is the plan. We developed this something like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We started working on a plan how to get to 5G, or IMT 2020, as it is called now by ITU. We are now, as you see, at the expecting proposals to come in for the development of IMT 2020. And very soon, the evaluation of those candidate proposals will start. And here we really hope and believe that India will play a significant role, not only in the proposals through TSDSI to the 3GPP activity, but also evaluating the candidate technologies coming into the IMT 2020 family. The plan is to finalize this by year 2020, at the end of 2020, but the evaluation, that one will close at the early phase of year 2020. And the 3 meetings starting from mid next year will be crucial in this activity. From our perspective, the Ericsson perspective, and the industry perspective, it's not enough with the current spectrum that we have in order to provide the capabilities that we believe 5G will have. We need spectrum in 3 different ranges. Low bands, that is 600. We know that India has a good possibility here to provide new spectrum in the 600 and 700 megahertz bands, which is very critical for deep indoor penetration. And we have the mid bands, 3.5, 3.7, up to 4200, which will be the key bands for early introduction. I will show later. And also there is some activities in the 4 gigahertz range. Then we have the 26 and 28 gigahertz bands to provide large bandwidths. And we have also 37 to 43.5. We know that India has a good situation when it comes to this. And this is the key. This is really the key, to provide spectrum in all these 3 ranges. But this time, 5G is not only about mobile broadband, even if we can provide that with large bandwidths, but also it is about society, it's about industry. And this shows some perspective from what we expect the industry to be involved in this. There will be, of course, rural possibilities for rural IoT systems, but that will not play the major role when it comes to GDP growth of a country. It's the manufacturing, smart manufacturing, and energy and public safety. Those top 3 ones are key for growth and to provide possibilities for 5G to provide possibilities for these to be very efficient, more efficient. So it's about machine-type communications in combination with much better mobile broadband. So we see that there is an convergence going on when it comes to frequency bands to be used. We see that, as I mentioned in the first, we have the low bands, we have the mid bands. Here, the situation 3300 to 4200, that will be the key for mid bands. We must have that in order to provide outdoor to indoor solutions. And then we have the high frequency bands. Starting with 20 hertz, it's a fact. That will be the first band. It's already happening now. The trials, 160 trials worldwide plus, is sort of done. Now we are entering the commercial phase, and it's going on at this very moment in 28 gigahertz and 37 to 40 gigahertz in US. And here India has a possibility to be early as well. And we see that there are, started already in Korea. We commercialized that in March next year. So we are building products for that now. And sort of US and the Korea is in the lead here. But we hope and believe that India will not be far behind. And we know that there are some difficulties with the 26 gigahertz band in Europe. So we hope that the 28 gigahertz here in India will be one early band for us. Thank you.